everyone. This week's Assembly is about a really important topic that's in the news a lot at the moment. You might have seen on the news protests that are happening in America, the United Kingdom and right around the world where people are holding banners that say Black Lives Matter. What the protesters are saying is that the colour of your skin shouldn't affect the way that you're treated. But unfortunately, this isn't always the case, as many black people are treated differently because of their skin colour. This is called racism. We've talked about this before in school when we celebrated Black History Month. Let's have a look at two people who you might remember learning about as people who fought against racism. The first of these people is a woman called Rosa Parks, and she appears in this book called Fantastically Great Women Who Changed the World. And it's a really fab book because it covers 13 amazing women who did change the world. And today we're going to have a look at Rosa Parks. It tells us a little bit about Rosa Parks and her fight against racism. It says, Rosa Parks stood up for herself and others by sitting down. Taking the bus home in Montgomery, Alabama, which is in America, in December 1955, she had no idea that what she was about to do was something amazing. At the time, strict laws kept white and black people separate. This was called segregation. One law said that if a bus got busy, black people had to give up their seats for white people. When there were no seats left on the bus, the driver asked Rosa if she was going to give up her seat for a white passenger. But Rosa thought to herself, why should I move? And you can see in the cartoon, there's pictures of white people saying, are you going to move? And Rosa Parks is saying, no, I am not. And I know when we covered this in Black History Month in school, so many of you were so shocked that a black person would be expected to move for somebody else. It then says, Rosa did not budge. She didn't argue or make a fuss, even when she was arrested. She knew she didn't need to shout for her point to be made, that the rules were wrong and unfair. It then says, I'm boycotting the buses. And that means that she was trying to stop this happening to any other black women on buses. News of Rosa's arrest spread quickly. Soon other black people decided to stop using buses until the law was changed. Eventually, that law and many other unfair laws were changed too. When Rosa refused to move, she took an important step towards making the lives of black and white people equal. So the second person we're going to have a look at who fought against racism was a man called Nelson Mandela. And he wrote a book, an autobiography called A Long Walk to Freedom. An autobiography means it's his story of his life, and this is the children's version I've got here. I'm just going to share with you the opening page. It shows a map of South Africa because Rosa Parks had her fight in America, but Nelson Mandela's fight was in South Africa. And it says, my name is Nelson Mandela. I live in South Africa, a beautiful country on the tip of Africa. Today, South Africa is a democracy. That means all adults vote to choose who they want to run the country. But it was not always like this. When I was born, South Africa was ruled by white people only. As I grew older, I began to see that this was not fair. I wanted to change this way of government so everyone had a say. My friends and I called this the struggle for freedom. The struggle lasted many years, and I was one of the fighters. This is my story. Nelson Mandela fought all his life for black people to be treated equally to white people. And because of this fight, he spent 27 years in prison. But eventually, when he was 75 years old, he went on to become president of South Africa. Although Rosa Parks and Nelson Mandela made great progress to fight racism and work towards everyone being treated equally and not differently because of their skin colour, unfortunately there is still a long way to go. We can all help by continuing to learn about racism and making sure that we use our voices to speak up if we see people being treated differently because of their skin colour. I hope you have a really, really good week. Bye for now.